Good morning. I'm Savitri Dias, and now we are going to discuss an overview of Curriculum for Physical Development, HBEC 2203, Topic 9. In the introduction, we talk about physical development curriculum is as important and crucial as any other area of development. It includes a child's gross, that means large muscle, and fine, small muscle motor skills. Physical development in many ways also promotes social or emotional development. Children will learn what their bodies can do, and when they gain self-confidence, they will be more willing to try new and challenging tasks. Physical education also supports a child's academic achievement by moving the body, and it literally wakes up the brain. Benefits of regular physical activity across the lifespan include healthy growth and physical development, building healthy hearts in strong muscles and bones, acquisition of basic motor skills, improved movement, balance, coordination, and reaction time, increased mental awareness, improved social skills, self-esteem and confidence, healthy weight management, anti-obesity, prevention of any forms of heart disease, prevention of type 2 diabetes, and prevention of some forms of cancer. Talking of building gross and fine motor skills, there are two types of skills and physical development. Gross motor skill, that is control, balance and stability in running, jumping, hopping, galloping and skipping, and physical control such as throwing, kicking and catching. Fine motor skills as control of small muscles in the hand and wrist, which enables children to conduct self-help skills and operate objects such as scissors and writing tools. The building of gross and fine motor skills. Talking of gross physical skills, to perform our everyday activities such as walking, skipping, running, standing and sitting upright requires full body movement, which refers to as gross motor skills. It also includes eye-hand coordination skill to throw, catch and kick a ball. A child having problems with a gross motor effectiveness can be detected if the child is late in reaching development milestones such as sitting, walking, running or hopping around, looking awkward in his way of walking and appears a little clumsy, avoiding physical activities, unwilling to participate in physical activities for a long duration of time, not able to maintain an upright posture when seated, unable to carry out the same skills such as catching, kicking, hopping and jumping as her peers, and less skillful than her friends in sports, not able to follow and complete multi-step instruction, not able to follow steps in a process. As an example, when asked to step 1 foot forward before throwing, not capable of climbing, easily tired doing a physical activity, easily losing his or her skill once they stop practicing, not able to continuously upskill forward, for example, change using a heavy big ball to a lighter, smaller ball. Fine motor skills. Fine motor skills can be practiced through art, sensory play and simple manipulative games, and there are so many choose from. You can help children develop their fine motor skills by setting up activities in the classroom or outdoors. For a 3 or 4-year-old child, holding any object is not as easy as holding a pencil to write or using a scissor to cut paper. They have yet to develop their fine motor skills and train their fingers to hold a pencil in an appropriate way so that they can write or exert strength in their fingers in order to use a pair of scissors effectively. Children can be trained to utilize, strengthen their muscles, practice coordination, and develop hand-eye coordination by using simple everyday material to create some fun in it too. Please refer to figure 9.1. A lot of variations can be created using this material. 2 examples of activities carried out that will improve a child's fine motor skills are shown in the following figure. Figure 9.1 have tools for fine motor activities. It is the Play-Doh tool kit. You have wooden letters, eyes, buttons, shells, colored rice, colored pasta, glass pebbles, pasta shapes, candles, pebbles, etc. And we also have the pine cone and elastic band activity which the students can perform for fine motor skill activity. And talking of physical activities for young children, physical activity is good for young children and can be part of a child's everyday play. Children will experience different body movements while participating in different activities. The following are examples of suggested activities which will enhance the body movements in a child between the ages of 2 to 5 years old. A. Use a large soft ball to practice catching, hitting, bouncing and kicking. B. A throwing activity can start with something small like a bean bag, tennis ball or an old pair of socks, which is good enough if space is limited. C. Bring out children into the open and allow them to play soap bubbles while they try to catch the bubbles with their friends. D. Put on some music and encourage dancing to let them follow a sense of rhythm. E. Invent some silly walks and runs with the child, such as running like a monkey, hopping like a bunny, and flapping like a bird. F. Make up games that involve rolling, skipping, hopping, and chasing. Physical activities continued. Activities for children can be categorized into light or energetic activities. Some light activities are walking, standing up, moving around, less energetic play. Energetic activities include jumping around, swimming, dancing, climbing, riding a bike, rope skipping, gymnastics, and active play such as hide and seek. We're talking of perceptual motor development. It refers to a child's developing ability to communicate with the environment when combining the use of his or her senses and motor skills. The use of perceptual or sensory skills and motor skills in the developmental process is regarded as a combined process. Perceptual motor development results from the interaction between sensory perception and motor actions. In Jumbo 1990, Mullen 1984, Puckett and Black 2005. To be more precise, visual, auditory, and tactile sensory abilities are combined with emerging motor skills to develop perceptual motor abilities. Perceptual motor skills include body, spatial, directional, and temporal awareness. A child who has a well-developed perceptual and motor skill can easily accept and perform instructions given by the teacher. There are some children who listen well but are not capable of using their motor skills. Actions such as running, kicking a ball require body awareness. Body awareness. Body awareness refers to a child's developing capacity to understand body parts, capability of each body parts, and how to make the body more efficient and productive. It is also the ability to perceive and interpret input from the senses. Put a few objects of different shape, texture, or size in a closed box. Then ask each child to pick an object with their fingers and identify the object without looking at it. With the song Head, Shoulder, Knees and Toes, encourage children to be aware of their body parts as well as to observe their own body movements as they sing along. Spatial awareness. Spatial awareness refers to knowledge of how much space your body occupies and how to maneuver one's body in that space. Activities such as the obstacle game challenge will test the ability of a child to plan different kind of movements, from how to fit his or her body through a narrow gap to maneuvering objects that will let him or her to progress to the next course. For example, obstacle challenge that can be played by an early childhood educator is to create awareness by honing their motor skills through hula hoops. Either put the hula hoop to stand upright or place them flat on the ground for children to hop into each of it. There are so many ways to play with hula hoops. It's all based on the creativity of the teacher. Directional awareness. Directional awareness includes understanding of location, direction of the body in empty space, differentiating between up and down, top and bottom, front and back, or left and right. Play a game called Simon Says, using directional skills by giving a bean bag to each child. For example, Simon may say, put the beanbag on top of your head, under your arm, behind your feet, or even on your left hand. Some of the classic dancing like the Hokey Pokey and Looby Loo stimulate students to practice left and right and control the position of their bodies. Temporal awareness. Temporal awareness refers to the development of awareness between movement and time, which involves rhythm and sequence in a series of events, according to Frost 1992, Gallagher 1989 and Jambo 1990. A child must possess a well-developed temporal awareness to be able to determine the passage of time, sequence of events, and predictions of the arrival of a moving object. Games that can be played by a child includes popping bubbles, hitting a hanging ball with a stick, chasing a rolling hula hoop, or using a jumping rope. These games will help strengthen temporal awareness. Let the children play some rhythmic instruments such as the drums, shakers, or even a guitar. Initiate them to dance and march to the rhythm. Set a time limit for the children to play so that they will be aware of the passage of time. Ways to improve motor skills. The physical development of fine motor skills requires the coordination of a child's small movements using his or her hands. These skills are needed by children to carry out tasks such as holding their pencil properly and writing and cutting with scissors. Fine motor skills are essential for success in school. A teacher should take serious action if a 6-year-old child lacks the physical ability to appropriately write, draw, color, or cut. There are a number of activities to improve the students' fine motor skills, such as art projects. By working on art projects such as sketching, coloring, or painting, children will be boosting their fine motor skills. Ideas and activities for art projects are limitless. Try giving a child a blank piece of paper and watercolor to paint his or her palm or finger, and he or she will create a masterpiece. Finger painting enhances a child's fine motor skills since it requires the child to build hand strength while controlling his or her movements to create a masterpiece. Figure 9.5 shows a child with his hand painted activity. Play with clay. Set out pieces of clay or plasticize and allow children to create sculptures of animals or whatever object they wish to. Squeezing and shaping the clay into different shapes will strengthen their hand muscles, fingers, and their wrists. Demonstrate to them how to mold the clay into balls, long strips, or shapes. These are examples of effective activities to improve fine motor skills. Teachers may also integrate the clay play during cooking lessons with the children by making homemade dough, which will also serve a similar purpose. Write, draw, and cut. Motivate the children to write. However, before they can write, teach them to hold a pencil properly and grip it well enough to form letters. The children must be able to build strength in their hands, fingers, and wrists. Children aged between 5 to 6 years are able to write. Hence, they can be asked to practice writing their spelling to enhance their fine motor skills. Drawing pictures with pencils, crayons, or markers might be more interesting and entertaining for a child and will accomplish the same goal. Using scissors to cut paper is another way to improve hand, finger, and wrist strength. Let the child cut pictures out of old magazines and paste them onto paper. This is one way to practice cutting skills. Health and nutrition in children. Physical development alone is not sufficient to categorize a child as an active and diligent learner, but a healthy lifestyle plays an important role in the well-being of a child. Children who have been taught about health and nutrition and its importance, especially obesity, will learn to be more independent and are able to carry a greater responsibility for their own health, safety, and well-being. A child's healthy eating habits should be adapted at an early age because it can have a lasting effect. Physical and mental health and proper nutrition should be cultivated in every early childhood to build a physically safe environment for the children to grow. Good health, proper nutritional practices, and safety provides a strong foundation for development of young children. Meals and snacks taken at appropriate time will encourage good health and nutrition, as well as good eating habits among all children. Moreover, a safe environment prevents a child from any injuries. Again, on nutritious food for children. A growing child during his or her early childhood should be eating healthy food for all meals of the day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with food that will aid in their learning development. Educating preschoolers on what to eat can be done during each meal time provided by the preschool, while the child is eating her meal or snack. Table 9.1 provides a list of healthy food and size of proportions that should be taken according to a child's appropriate age. The information in table 9.1 helps an early childhood educator to understand more on nutrition and development of a child that could aid in a child's mental and physical development. Nutritious food for children. Again, the educator is an early childhood preschool needs to bear in mind that those types of food varies from one country to another, from one culture and one region to another. What is written here is only a suggestion. We have the source of food and the proportion needed per child. So you can read it. We have fruits and vegetables and how much a student should have. And we talk of bread and grain. Again, a preschooler needs between 3 and 5 ounces of bread and grain. Again, we have proteins, and preschool children need between 2 and 5 ounces of protein each day to help them grow. Lean chicken and turkey are healthy sources of protein, and they also supply a small amount of iron. And says make chicken or turkey sandwich on whole grain bread with shredded carrots and sliced cucumbers. So it is healthy food for a preschool child. Then the dairy products. A serving of dairy products during lunchtime supplies a child with a healthy amount of calcium, which is a nutrient essential for his or her bones. Toddlers and preschoolers need 2 cups of milk or the equivalent to that each day. 1 cup of milk supplies the child with about 1/3 of the calcium he needs each day. So continue reading it, and you will also see that cheese with fruit is another healthy way to add dairy to his or her lunchbox. Then we talk of childhood obesity. Every child has different eating habits. Some children love to eat and will eat any type of food given to them as long as it is edible. Some will only consume bread or certain kind of food, as their menu for meals is often limited. Nevertheless, there are some children who will eat while playing or doing activities. As such, it is not surprising to find children who have become obese due to the abnormal eating habits and lack of supervision by adults. Obesity is a result of excessive body fat stored in the body. Childhood obesity has been regarded as a complex health issue, and it happens when a child's weight is above his normal healthy weight. The causes for childhood obesity are quite similar to adults. Dietary patterns, physical activity, and use of medication besides other factors such as food, physical activities, environment, educational skills, food marketing and promotion could lead to overweight and obesity issues. Genetics too can be a factor. And it says obesity has a great impact on a child's physical development. Children who are obese will experience difficulty in moving around and will use their gross motor skills to conduct activities like other normal children. But who is to be blamed? Could it be the fault of the parents, the early childhood teacher, the community, or the environment? We talk of early childhood obesity. It is rather unfair to put the blame on children if and when they grow obese. Children might find it difficult to make choices to eat healthy food and participate in sufficient physical activities when they are most of the time exposed to environments in their home, child care center, or their preschool or community, which are influenced by several factors such as advertisements of non-healthy food, which have high total calories in sugar, salt, and less nutritious ingredients, are openly advertised and marketed through the media, which specifically target children and adolescents. And when we talk more on obesity, childhood obesity, we see that preschool regulations vary from one school to another depending on the location it is built. Some preschools have ample space for physical activities, and some have just enough space to put up a small swing or slide. And limited access to healthy and affordable food. Choosing healthy food can be sometimes difficult in a lower income neighborhood, and there are limited numbers of supermarkets or cold storage selling fresh and healthy food. And also, high energy food and sweetened beverages result in a higher risk for excess body fat during childhood. And increasing portion size of less healthy food served at fast food restaurants and grocery stores encourages children to binge eat, and this gradually becomes a habit even when they are at preschool. Lack of breastfeeding while a child is an infant. Breastfeeding protects against childhood overweight and obesity. Alright, when we talk of the sicknesses, overweight and obese children are at a greater risk of developing serious health problems such as type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, bone and joint problems, and asthma. Then you have restless or disordered sleep patterns, liver and gallbladder diseases, and depression and low self-esteem. Children who are overweight and obese have the tendency to remain lazy and inactive. This will result in lack of physical activity and hence will worsen a child's growth, development and academic feasibility. Refer to figure 9.6. Right, you can see an obese child and his inactivity. Thank you.